I wish we could talk more about the on-ice stuff this week, but what's going on off the rinks seems to be grabbing all the headlines. In this story, it's the Bruins' Derek Sanderson making news, and not for his fine skating or his tenacious checking. The Turk apparently told the Bruins he's taken a few days off from training camp scrimmages and workouts because he's got something a lot more important to do. Sanderson, it seems, has agreed to appear in the full-length Canadian-made movie titled It Ain't Easy. Derek stars in the movie playing who else but himself in a plot that can be described best as pathetically weak. Derek left the Boston training camp for Montreal to participate in a press conference and a bunch of other promotional activities for the movies, photo ops and all that stuff. It was first reported that Derek had been given permission to leave the London, Ontario Bruins training camp, but that was just an assumption by sports writers. No permission was actually given. And in defense of those sports writers, no one would dream that a player, even a Derek Sanderson, would leave training camp and place something like this above the important preseason training, but that's exactly what Derek Sanderson did. He wasn't given permission to forego training. Derek had reported to training camp in good shape, and even though he still hadn't signed his 70-71 contract, by reporting to camp, as Al Eagleson pointed out with Dave Keon earlier, he's subject to all the rules, and the rules say you have to be in training camp. Sanderson said at a press conference that the two sides are still far apart in the contract, but reports that he's asking for $70,000 a year are close but not completely accurate. Maybe he's asking for 65. The Bruins took a stand on Thursday. They suspended Sanderson, and believe it or not, the Turk was shocked. Shocked, I tell ya. The Bruins press release gave no length of the suspension, said it was indeterminate, and provided as reason that he had not attended a required practice at the training camp in London. Well, Sanderson, the very next day, said that he only learned of the suspension from a Boston writer who told him about it, and that the team had not told him of the action they were taking. Of course, Derek wasn't anywhere near the team, so they couldn't go to his room at the hotel in London and inform him, could they? Sanderson defended missing the workout, saying he had tried to get a flight back to London, but he was surprised to find that all the flights had been booked from London to Montreal. He said he'd have to confer with his agent, Boston lawyer Bob Wolf, before deciding on his next steps. You think that in a matter like this, Derek Sanderson might have booked a two-way flight to Montreal and back to London? He booked a one-way flight? What was this guy thinking of? Or was he looking for a confrontation? More on this next week.